The meeting is now called to order. Can we please all stand for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Here.
Mr. Sakala?
Here.
Mrs. Dye?
Here.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Here.
And Mr. Mandel.
Here. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meeting of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Cedar Grove Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be advertised by having the date, time, and place thereof posted on bulletin boards in the district, published and/or transmitted to the Verona Cedar Grove Times and Star Ledger newspapers, filed with the township clerk, and posted on the district's website. The meeting is open to the public for comments for items on the agenda. Seeing none, I close that portion of the meeting. Committee reports tonight?
I have one. I attended the South End FSA meeting on the 12th. And we had our first principal report from Mrs. DiMatteo. And there were a couple of things that she mentioned. First, that the MAP testing had started with the first grades, and they were moving on to the fourth grades, and that parents would receive reports on the results. She mentioned that back to school night was going to be September 19th, which was last week, and it was very nice. Two things I wanted, well, I guess one thing I wanted to mention. She started going around each class and she read them two books, which I thought was kind of interesting. One was Have You Filled the Bucket Today? And it talks about being a bucket filler, and it talks about how someone who makes somebody else feel good, and we all carry an invisible bucket, and each kid now has a bucket in their classroom, and it talks about how when you make somebody feel good, you fill your bucket, and I just thought that was kind of nice, for her to mention. And then one other thing she read to everybody was A Bug and a Wish, and basically it's how to teach kids to talk with words. So she would use an example, it bugs me when, and then I wish you. And so she was actually reading that to all the classes, and I thought that was really nice. So I wanted to point that out. And then the only other main thing was that South End is having a fall festival. So what they did is they combined, traditionally they've had like a family fun day, which has usually been at the beginning of the school year. And then they also have a trick or trunk. And the trick or trunk generally isn't well attended, and so they decided to combine it. So, and they actually just changed the date. It's actually going to be October 27th from 2 to 5. And so they're going to have trick-or-treating and pumpkin painting and crafts and food and a DJ. And they're encouraging everybody to attend. And let's see, class pictures are this Friday. Saturday pre-K registration is on the 28th. And they're already thinking about the holiday shop, first week in December.
Great. A lot going on in the beginning of the year.
Oh, there was. The first meeting was quite long.
Any other reports tonight? Okay, seeing none. Let's move on to the agenda. Tonight, as all of you know, we had on the anticipated on our agenda, we're going to do our goal setting session, and these are the goals that the board sets along with the administration for the upcoming school year. And tonight we have a representative from New Jersey School Boards. Ms. Jane Kirshner is going to facilitate the meeting, and we're going to go through our ideas and what we set for ourselves for the upcoming year, and also goals for the superintendent. So with that, we need you, if you could, you just have to come up to, yes, please. It's for the community. We're taped. We are live. Thank you. And you just need to hold the microphone because even though it's not loud here, it's for the public to hear. Don't be shy. It's your debut.
Please, please, I've done this. There you go.
Thank you.
You want me to hold it?
You could stand there,
Oh.
just as long as you speak into it so the public can hear.
Okay, I
Great.
feel like a rapper. Hello to everybody. How are you all?
Great.
The last time I saw you, I think, was in late May or early June. Was that not right, Renee? When you were going through the process of your superintendent search. So now it's been a few months. Mr. Featherman, how do you like it?
Love it.
Do you like it? I'm very pleased to be back. I know there's been a vacancy for a field service representative since May 9th, and I am here to tell you also that Charlene Peterson is the new field service rep for Morris County, Essex County, and Hudson County, and she started last Monday. So I am wrapping up some things while she gets her feet wet. She has been very active. She was a 9-member, she was on a Board of Education for 9 years, and then she went to her regional board. She was a county officer in Morris, and she's a certificated board member. So she sat on your side of the desk for many years. We're very pleased to have her, and it will probably be her face you see next. But I came prepared tonight to talk about district goals. This is my first time with you other than that one meeting, and so I think it's important to reinforce, since it's Mr. Featherman's first time going through this process, that there are 3 kinds of goals. There are superintendent goals, board goals, and district goals. And it's my understanding that we're going to do district goals this evening. And the district goals that you set are the goals on which Mr. Featherman will be evaluated next year. And this may be good news for all of you, but they have changed the date. It used to be April 30th. You had to have the superintendent's evaluation completed by, and just recently they changed that to July 1st.
Oh, that makes more sense.
It had been a problem because most districts had gone to November. They elected board members in November. Those people were sworn in January, and then within like 6 weeks or so, they were beginning the CSA evaluation, which really wasn't fair to anybody, neither the board nor the superintendent. So they took a lot of testimony, and they took a lot of months over to decide if there were some things that they should have done, because they didn't make any amelioration for a crunch time frame before now. So it has just come out this month that they are going to move the deadline to July 1st. So you'll be happy to know you have all of that time to evaluate your superintendent. And it is on achievement and progress towards the goals that you set tonight on which he will be evaluated. I have with me packets for all of you. I also have samples of an action plan. So once the goals are stated, Mr. Featherman should have 4-6 weeks. He may not need that much, and he may, in which to develop action plans. And those action plans will include, for each goal, major activities, staff, constraints, timelines, and indicators of success. Some of the goals that you choose may go over a 1-year period. So when you fill out an action plan, you will see that if some of the dates go over 1 year, you can easily stop somebody at a specific point and say, okay, we're stopping it here. How has progress been made? You also should know that you review the action plans. You do not change them. You do not adopt them. You do adopt the district goals. I consider the action plans information for the board, but protection for the superintendent. Because if I were here and I lived in this community and I came out and I said to you, many people attended the meeting last night. Quick, off the top of your head, what's many? Now, what's many?
For me,
Yes,
if we had many here,
yes,
10.
many,
30.
many.
15.
Okay, many. Okay. And so, say I left here and there was some information that you wanted and I said, I will get it to you soon. Quickly, what's soon? Renee?
2 days.
2 days. Soon?
2 days.
Soon?
2 days.
Soon?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I would say 24 hours.
Okay. And here's a really good one. Say I have a doctor's appointment and I walk into the office and the receptionist greets me and says, well, hi, Jane, how are you? Come on in, have a seat. The doctor will be with you in a few minutes. What's a few minutes?
2 hours.
For a doctor, yeah.
Okay,
Doctor, easily an hour.
here,
Right, a doctor's office.
that's right. So here are a couple of key points. One, nobody asked me what my definition of soon was. So I could have said to you soon, and to me, soon could have been 2 weeks. So before I even walked out of here, because of an assumption of an interpretation, I would have had all of you angry or frustrated within a couple of days. It kind of points up that we interpret words constantly, every day, all day, and we don't think about it. So even people who live in our town, you think we all speak the same language and we all mean the same thing, and we don't. So the action plan is actually setting down the steps that the superintendent will take, exhibiting his or her own talents and skills to achieve a goal. So you can see the action plan serves a number of purposes. And one of them is so that you don't get towards the end of the school year and you're saying, oh, we need to begin the evaluation of the superintendent, and the superintendent tells you what he or she's been doing, and somebody says, well, wait a minute, that isn't what I thought we were going to do with that goal. So you can see the action plan is really kind of, it brings out the focus of your goals. And it is, I think, a way for Mr. Featherman to actually communicate with you. So when you see it, even though you're going to evaluate him on progress towards those goals, this is just information for you. I would say, since one of the key reasons to develop district goals is to evaluate your superintendent and to move your district forward, it is a good thing when it comes time to begin the evaluation to go to your superintendent and say, we know you walk the halls of these buildings, and we know you do things every single day that you're proud of, and you don't get a chance to tell us. Meetings are chock full. There's lots more to do. Is there anything else you would like us to know about yourself and your job, what you're proud of, what you've done over the year before we begin your evaluation? Understand, evaluating the superintendent is to move the district forward, and it gives him a chance to decide whether or not to give you some extra information as you go through the formal process of filling out a form. So it's all about the relationship and how you have determined you're going to evaluate the progress. It used to be, education used to be a lot simpler than it is right now. With all that you have to deal with, maintaining a focus and setting clear goals and moving towards them through the year has become of even more critical importance. And you'll notice in the packets that I gave you, on the right-hand side behind the agenda, there is a sheet called Systems Thinking. And the first sentence, if you read nothing else in this packet, systems thinking is the realization and belief that the whole, not the sum of the parts, makes the difference in realizing one's goals, and that key actions are linked and interwoven. It's clear that the work of school boards is about student achievement and community interaction. And so to kind of focus yourselves and to align the resources that you have, you come together once a year like this, and you come up with some district goals that will help move you forward. I can tell you, in preparation for this evening, since I had spoken to Mr. Featherman, I guess it was in the spring, right? And he had not gone through the goal-setting process, nor what would be expected of him. I called him this morning and told him a little bit about what the meeting would be like. And actually, I'm glad I did, because he's the one who told me we'd be videoed. Right, Mr. Featherman? Right. So I said I thought I was happy I looked kind of nice. All right. In our discussion, and it was nice, and it was quick, and it was kind of fun. I could hear the excitement in his voice, and he actually was telling me some of the things that he has started in the district since he began. Our recommendation is that you don't give any more than 3 significant goals to a superintendent, because you're expecting that your superintendent is going to run the day-to-day operations of the business, of the school system. So 3 additional goals just says you have come together as a group of people and you have asked and stated that in addition to running the district day to day, you would like your superintendent to focus on these 3 goals. So I don't know whether it should be a surprise to them or not, Mr. Featherman, but we actually discussed some of the things that he has begun to do, some of which are being demanded by the state, and some of which are to provide a more rigorous curriculum for your youngsters. So, Mr. Featherman, should I proceed, or would you like to say anything?
Well, I had shared with the board
Okay, this,
our conversation and prepared documents with those ideas.
Okay.
That you have there in front of you, so the board is aware of those ideas already.
all right, thank you, thank you. And I am sure it was Joanne the one who was in here before myself?
Yes, Joanne Boren.
Okay, so is this the process that you are used to?
What we've done in the past, the only difference is we've reviewed our previous year
Okay,
and just talked about some of the successes that the board feels that we've accomplished along with the administration, so the community can hear, you know, a lot of times, you know, they don't realize what's going on behind the scenes and what we have done, you know, in the past year that has been successful. So we usually start off reviewing that, and then we go into what we would like to go into the future.
Did Joanne write those down for you on big Post-its?
Yes, behind.
How do you do that and stand in front of the microphone?
Well,
No,
or you bring the
I
microphone
have the big
with you.
Post-its and I have the magic markers. So you tell me what your comfort level is and how you do this, and I'll be happy to
That's what we
oblige.
do, and then even when we talk through our future goals, she writes down ideas, and then we go from a broader spectrum. and
Okay,
then
so
we
it's
bring it
the,
down.
it's the achievements, what's in progress, and what needs to be done now.
Right.
All right, thank you. Should I use this, or should I use my Post-its?
Oh, it's however you'd like to do it.
All right, all right. Okay. Is this like the article that's on your website?
Is what like our article?
I brought with me something that was on your website, and it seems to me it is something that was probably in the newspaper. Friday, May 11th, 2012. And I think it has listed the accomplishments, the things that you're just talking about, the achievements of that past year.
Yes.
So this is what. So is this, was this an article in the paper? You think
No.
so? Was it something one of you wrote?
Informative report from the board.
But this isn't from a goal meeting. I think this is from a meeting,
Okay.
one
all
of
right.
our regular meetings. Yeah, I think it was. This wasn't a goal-setting meeting.
Then look at the next page. I think it talked about accomplishments. Year in review to 2011, 2012. So that's really what we're gonna be doing now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty. All right, then let me get this a little more. Is this tilted? Is it pretty stable? Okay. All right. Then would you like to go through accomplishments of this year? So we're gonna talk about 2012, 2013.
Right.
Hiring a new superintendent.
Number 1, 2012.
High school principal as well.
Oh,
Right.
really?
Yes.
Okay.
And elementary, two
Two supervisors and the elementary.
All right, hang on one second. So hiring, you're saying, did you hire the high school principal?
High school principal, elementary school principal, superintendent, and 2 new supervisors. And first and foremost, that we all forgot, we successfully completed a bond referendum. Construction and paperwork.
From the previous bond?
Yeah,
So the bond that's listed in this?
Yes, the project was completed.
All right, so the bond referendum project was completed. Okay.
successfully,
Success-
and all paperwork submitted.
And actually, it is two elementary principals, because Ms. Dyer was hired in July of 12, July 2012, so that'd be two.
Wow.
July 1.
And all paperwork filed?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Clearly, you've been busy.
And actually, it was just brought to the attention from one of the board members that it was two elementary principals were hired instead of one.
Okay.
It was two elementary. Number 3, it just put hiring 2 elementary. Yep.
Don't mess it once I write it down. All right.
So we, it's been pretty busy.
I'd say you've been busy and probably successful, yes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What else have we? Oh, yeah, contract negotiations, 2 completed,
And how many do you have?
2 bargaining groups.
So
Was
two
it
of-
2?
No, three.
Three.
It's
Three.
Secretaries, administrators, and teachers, all within the last year, we
Finalized contracts.
Okay, so for,
We have 4, and then we have
so 3 of 4 group,
4 groups. We have to,
we're
3 out of 4.
three out of
Right,
four,
3 out of 4.
we negotiated and completed contract.
I know, that's huge too.
so, and you're
Are we
still working
missing
on the
anything?
other?
Yes.
Okay. So, what we're gonna say here is the 4th is in process.
That was key.
Or you're not that far, you're beginning it?
We are, we're almost done.
Okay.
We're waiting for the other 2
Oh,
out.
then how should I?
But that was this year, we just.
Okay, all right, then, okay, so then, okay, all
That'll
right.
be next year's council.
Say it,
All
Charlie.
right,
Also, hiring new board council, which was very instrumental in getting us to where we're at right now.
oh, I see, sure. Okay.
Renee, is there anything that we missed?
No, I think you,
You got your side?
Oh, did I turn that too far for you to read? Should I turn it back this way? Is that all right? Okay, all right. So, these are accomplishments. Nah, you don't do this that often, right? So let's put it this way. Oh. Different points. Okay. All right.
Oh, that's true.
Now, did you give her tape? Is it all right if I flip this over?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right, now, okay, so, in progress?
Oh, that's, yeah, yeah.
In progress and needs to be continued, and I would say after talking to Mr. Featherman, Cusack is one of them, right?
One of the other accomplishments for the previous sheet was the high school rating that changed. Basically, the grading based on last year's data.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Whoops. Hang on a second. Grade rating, should I say? High school grade rating.
Ranking, grading,
Oh,
grading, grade rating. Oh, yeah.
grade rating?
Your grade. High school grade rating.
Yes, thank you, all right. Okay, okay, done. So you're in the middle of CUSAC? Was there anything else? I know, Mr. Featherman, you would have something to say here.
Implementation of the new teacher evaluation and teacher and administrator evaluation models.
Okay, yeah, that's big. Of, teacher
Strong
and
model.
principal.
Sorry?
It's the teacher of the strong, right?
Yes.
Evaluation model. Okay. How's that coming?
Going well.
Everybody moving along well?
We
I
have a
know
lot of training.
people don't seem to think it's a bad system, but that you could have used a little more time. Not this district, the state.
Yes, I think that's
Fair.
fair to say.
Okay. What's in progress?
Always in progress, and is continuing to raise, test scores, so,
Well then, how about I put in here the fourth contract? That's in progress, correct? So you're, or no?
Well, yeah, that's in progress.
He's talking about test scores.
No, I know that, but I'm going from the other page.
That's almost done.
Right.
We're just waiting for it to be
Right.
ratified.
But it's in progress.
It is in progress, and if you leave it just on one sheet, it may look like there's major contention. So it's the completion of the fourth contract.
Yes.
What does it hurt, right?
No, it's true. No, that's not a goal. This is just what's in progress.
So there's some continuity here. And you are talking about ongoing academic rigor, correct? Okay.
Also, always in progress is just how can we better communicate?
Interaction with the community?
Yes.
I'm gonna put community interaction.
Always trying to keep them well informed.
Okay. What is in progress?
Well, then what about property operations,
that's-
maintenance, and enhancements, right?
Did you? Oh my God, that was like.
Was it, he said
Mike
the
just
same
said it was in stereo. Mike just leaned over. He goes, and then I guess this one is in progress. And he started reading it, and you said exactly the same thing. Yes, so that's a yes.
And that, well, say that again?
Property operations, maintenance, and enhancements.
That was great. That was great.
Same page, so.
And maintenance, did you say property operations and?
Maintenance and enhancements.
Okay. Okay. Did you go to November?
No. Oh yeah, we went to November Fair Budget. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, when it says ongoing academic rigor, was there some kind of system? Mr. Featherman, were you talking about some kind of system?
Well, we had mentioned, we were talking about MAP, but I think they're referring to maybe the 5-year curriculum plan.
Correct.
So, you want me to put number 7, and what do you want me to say for that? No.
It's a subset of number 4, right? I mean, that's district.
Okay,
scores,
okay.
And the system you're talking about, we spoke briefly, is really part of number 2. Well, it's really teacher evaluation, we haven't put that on there. You know, the new teacher evaluation.
It's number 2, isn't it?
It is.
Evaluation of strong evaluation.
Oh, that's the evaluation.
It's big, I think I know what you're saying, it's bigger than
Yes,
this.
that's my point.
Okay,
Teacher evaluation, including strong, including MAP testing, including.
All right, so change number 2 to overall teacher evaluation, subsets in math and the strong.
Right.
Okay.
The tools that we use
Right.
to do it. Right. So
That
it's
makes
not really,
sense.
we're not just implementing a tool, we're implementing.
yes, exactly, okay.
Yes, which is applicable also to administration. We've adopted the strong model for administrators.
Right.
For teacher and administrator, right? Okay. Okay. Renee, I can't read this, or somebody else can't tomorrow or the next day, I'll call you. I mean, that's a lot. How's this coming? How's CUSAC coming?
It's coming. We're in the early stages. We're developing our committees. And we'll be in good shape.
Is this enough to be in progress?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of that.
Then tell me what needs immediate action or work. Doesn't have to have been on either one of those other 2 pages. Is there an immediate concern?
immediate? What's your definition?
Very good. Quick learners. What needs to be taken care of right now? CUSAC is a process, the evaluation thing is a process, and I know it's timelined, but is there anything in operations, in the buildings? Is there something that you need to focus your attention and money on right now in this system? Do you need more textbooks? Do you need, oh, do you?
Yeah, we need a middle school principal. Absolutely. And if by immediate you mean now, yes,
Yes.
now.
Immediate attention needed. One, middle school principal, right?
Higher, yep.
Am I allowed to ask why there was such an administrative turnover?
No, everyone got moved up.
Yeah, it's all.
It was
you're
internal.
kidding.
These were
Yeah.
internal, it all worked out.
Right, 2 retirements kind of created, yeah.
Right, lots of openings.
There's retirement, so it wasn't.
Our high school principal became our superintendent, our middle school principal became our high school principal.
Okay, now hang on.
One
Supervisor became our
Okay.
principal.
Right.
Okay, now, we need to say something about that. Really, we do. You're very unusual.
And it was very unusual for
us.
this district as well. It's never
Really?
happened. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all you wordsmiths, I need something really good. This says something about the system that you govern with your superintendent. So the fact that all of your internal people fit the roles and reached high enough and had the motivation to go on to the next level here says something significant. So I need you to wordsmith that. I need a phrase. I can't say everybody moved up. That doesn't capture what went on here.
I think it's just having an exceptional board that just knows how to hire the right people.
Absolutely.
I'm only kidding.
And the president says that.
I'm
Did you
only
take
kidding.
note? The president
I'm
says
only
that.
kidding.
Well then, but do you?
Well, it's fostering an environment that enables people to take risks.
Well,
And let people
administrative
take risks,
framework.
that they're willing to do that. So it's creating an environment. The environment created the chance for them to take risks and to grow and to be groomed.
I also think the board had the foresight to hire the right people with a
Back then,
successional plan in mind.
yes.
I think
Um,
that the board's gotta take credit for having the vision to have a successional plan in mind when hiring these, by filling these strategic positions over the last couple of years, 4 years. How long ago was I hired? 4 years ago?
Renee, are you
Right.
getting all this?
Exactly.
You getting on? Okay.
But that is the truth. You know,
Well,
that
it is the truth, but it also says that there was a, I mean, I'm in many districts, and there are many administrations that don't work as well together, so that it's all right for everybody to move up one or to, so that really has to be memorialized. Okay, all right. Now, so what you have to do is you have to hire somebody who will fit in with all the rest of these people, right? Okay, so you're in the process. That needs immediate attention. When is your CUSAC done?
November 15th,
So you are in the throes of it.
we are.
Okay, so immediate attention that's going to take time for the administration is CUSAC,
It's
correct?
completed November?
Correct.
Wow. I thought this was the year we were going to be the whole year.
And then when are SGOs due?
November 15th.
November. So student growth objectives are due from all teachers and it's to the state November 15th.
Last year was Mr. P, right? Doesn't Mr. P through the middle school?
And nobody's here on the 16th.
Should the minute 48 have to, do they also have to have the state, for the SGPs?
Well, we wouldn't have SGPs until, I think the SGPs is gonna hold us up. They're talking through the end of the school year and beyond
did I-
in terms of finishing it.
Did I not get something here?
They're just trying to clarify SGPs.
I'm not aware of that.
You know what it means, right? Are you still all right? Okay. Well, quite frankly, here are your goals, but let's keep going. Because you've got all of your accomplishments from this past year to help you reach these, right?
I don't think number one is a goal, though, at all, because we're pretty close to that, and we're not gonna be focusing our continued effort, right, over the
But she
next.
said immediate.
No, these are just immediate
Right,
attention.
but no, she said these are your goals, right?
We don't know.
Right.
We don't have anybody hired yet. So
Right.
we
Well,
don't
no,
know
that's
how
true.
long that's
Right.
gonna take.
Work with me.
Well, I mean,
No, she just didn't want to waste a goal
right,
on that.
that's exactly
No,
what
all right, all right.
I agree.
We're doing
Absolutely.
that anyway, okay, all right, then I'll put a 4 here.
I agree.
She just asked for a thing.
Well, we've talked about how map testing belongs perhaps combined with the new evaluation model, and that's certainly true. But that is an immediate need, it's ongoing, it's.
Right, that you're doing right now,
happening
you're
right now.
executing map testing
Right.
right now.
Right.
What about the whole park and
That's
Oh.
not-
how we have
that's next
to,
year.
well, yeah, I know, but is
That's
that,
not
as far as
immediate.
technology
Not
or anything,
immediate.
is that, we're not worried?
That's a good point. Much of what we're doing is preparing us for the park assessments in 14, 15. So writing SGOs, we're introducing MAP, we're building the baseline types of data that will allow us to best prepare for park in 14, 15. So it's all heading in that direction.
Okay, wordsmiths. Because that has to come before the assessments, so that has to be in place, right? So are we talking about the map? All these things have to be in
See,
place.
I want Teach NJ as one thing, and SGOs are a subset, and map testing is a subset.
We can
So
do
I don't
that.
wanna use all the goals up.
You don't,
Sorry, Mike.
you don't, no, no.
Outline of the,
Lots of time.
outline, A, B.
Here's what I can do. I can list them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Right.
7, and then we can clump.
Right, okay.
How's that?
Yeah, we talked about clumping.
Yeah, we like to clump.
Right.
Clumping is good.
We have a good clump factor.
So would I put map here, just MAP?
Right, and then you can have Achieve NJ is another one, because those are all clumped
Certainly.
together.
Right. Achieve NJ is probably the umbrella.
Right, over
Yeah.
all of it, right.
Don't start.
Clumping.
Don't start.
Well, if we're talking about immediate attention needs, then we also have facility upgrades.
Let's say that.
Do we, okay.
Totally facility
Okay,
upgrades.
all right.
Because the board set out with a 5-year plan for that as well. And the bond referendum last year was just one phase of the facility upgrades.
So it falls into the 5-year plan, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, remember, we're talking about buildings that are over 50, 60 years old that
How many do you have? 4?
and then we have an administrative building that we lease out.
That's right. That's where I met with all of you, am I right?
So we have to maintain that. I mean, that's, rental property that we need to make sure we maintain as well.
Okay.
And to get most of those things done, we need community involvement, so that would be another.
That's an immediate, okay.
Continued
Right,
community
yeah.
involvement?
Continued, good. Girl. Can they pick up every word I say? Okay. So this is big, right? This is the umbrella. You must do this, is what you're saying.
Correct. That needs to be a goal.
And this has to be done in order to get the rest of these done well.
So when we're
When
talking
about
about,
the student achievement?
I
Right.
was just gonna say
Yeah.
that, when are you putting,
But
that
see,
doesn't really,
that's in the
Yeah, the
previous
rest is
page.
immediate, like, that was in the other.
I think we're losing, again, the definition isn't what is immediate, right?
Right.
Well, if I had accomplishments and then I had things that were in progress. So the understanding would be that some of those are gonna kind of continue.
Right, yes.
But as you
Okay.
sit here tonight, what are some of the things that are going to be driving your actions over the next 3 months? This is, this is, this is, this is, this is. I mean, really, you're gonna be, right, am I not right? You're gonna be making decisions and moving forward on all of these. That doesn't take away from time spent on this. But if you're talking about immediate and steps that are needed to be taken in order to get this other stuff accomplished, they're two different lists.
But I think we want academic rigor and test scores as part of the superintendent's goals.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
I guess
this is not,
how do we understand how the lists relate to the goals?
all right. I can put it up here. I can put it above everything, because that really is when we're starting.
That's what I'm trying to
So,
understand. Is this where it is or is it-
Right, that's what I was asking.
that what?
No, go ahead, you go, we're just talking amongst ourselves.
I think what they're just confused
no, I
about
want-
is they don't know whether this is now setting up for the goals, or are these the goals to have
Oh,
the
no.
discussion. That's where I think the confusion is right now.
This
Right.
is going to be part of a discussion. If I put immediate attention needed, then I could say ongoing student achievement. But I wouldn't want to just put down student achievement because it looks like, see what I mean? So I could put it on, your goals have to be student achievement oriented, so.
So that should be an
Right.
in progress page?
It should be on all of them. It
Well,
should be on
right,
I
it's
guess
everything.
what we
always
could
is.
talk about is how we had our 5-year curriculum plan, and now we're in the second phase of the 5-year curriculum plan where we're refining, and I guess it's really just, we had the foundation the first 5 years, and now the second 5 years, my understanding was that we were supposed to build upon that growth. Yes? No? By instituting different programs, adding different curriculum.
Right.
That was part of the plan for the second phase. And we just, as a board, want to see that continue
Right.
and keep moving in the direction that we're moving. That
So would I put more on this? Is this enough to have the discussion?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
if
agree.
we added that,
Right.
I think it's fine.
And in red, please no. It wasn't a thick red, but I didn't know if there was a thick red. I can underline it.
No, it's okay.
So that's gonna come up to be number 1. Well, no. This is really an ongoing thread, really. Am I right?
I think we agree with that, yes.
Okay, so then these are things that need to be accomplished, and they need to be accomplished well.
Well, I think
But
number
so
7
does-
is an ongoing thread,
Right.
Right.
right? And kind of 6, but not really because we have the 5-year plan. So I think 7.
No, but I think where the
But
concern,
ongoing-
but I think where the concern may come is that if we just make that an ongoing thread without specific actions tied to it,
Right.
it may just fall through the
Right,
cracks.
I think it needs to be an
So I
actual
think that
goal.
our concern is that it doesn't fall through the cracks and
Right.
that there's
It
actual,
stands out as a goal with actual,
with
right,
with
absolutely.
actual,
What?
the
7.
red,
The red,
The
red
red.
has to,
And seven.
and 7,
And
and 6.
right.
6, 7, and the red one all have to be actual goals.
Because those are ongoing forever. Those all
Right.
have to be important,
Yes.
and yes, the
Right.
superintendent
Okay,
has to
so.
advance.
this
So we
is what
need
we're-
actual things put
These are
to it so
part-
that we see the forward
Okay.
movement.
Right.
So what's in red, I'll put a legend down here, and what's in red is an ongoing thread.
Yes.
What was the other one that you said?
6.
6. Yes. Okay,
Because all the other stuff is immediate attention. Everything else is always attention.
okay,
Plus those other things, except for number 1, is really driven by the state changes anyway.
Yeah.
so what you're really saying is, like the other one, like you say, this is the map. Really, what you're talking about is Cedar Grove School District, this, and this. And if you're gonna do it that way, I would say Cedar Grove School District, this, and this. this, I don't know that this is in, you have to do this, I don't know that it would rank as important as 7 and student achievement. This is in another category. You could put a dotted line and put it over here if you wanted. Do you see what I mean?
Not dotted.
Yeah, I think it's a focus. I think it's something that we wanna
Okay,
pay
then
attention.
I
I think
will-
it's an actual goal,
It says all
right?
continuing threads.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
got it.
really-
So what we're saying is for the goals, you've got your accomplishments, you've got what's in progress, what's in progress, and then we're going to remove immediate attention because it's an ongoing thread, student achievement, facilities, and community interaction. Okay, so that leaves you with 1 to 5. If this is an umbrella, what comes under it? And can those be your
3 and
goals?
4.
Am I moving too fast?
3 and 4 go under number 5, right?
Okay,
Right.
okay. So this and this would go under, okay. So hang on a second
Is
here.
that the fourth goal?
Incorporate, right?
Well, no, the
Incorporate
community, the
numbers
facility,
3 and
the
4.
top thing, academic rigor, and then this one.
And also too, is the strong falls under that.
Right, which is part of achievement.
Yes,
Yes, that's the system we use, is strong.
Right.
yes,
but
that's
that
the one
should
you've
be-
chosen.
Right.
All right.
But that should be, that's one of the,
Components of
like,
it.
So-
right, Roman numeral, yeah.
When this comes back to you, do you want me to write it like this, or do you want me to move it around the way we're talking about?
Come back to us, how?
I will send you these written up. I will send you the accomplishments, I will send you what's in progress, and I will send you what needs immediate attention. So if these and this, if these 3 are an ongoing thread, then the rest are gonna come into goals. But these are gonna be things that you're working on all the time.
But
can
they're
we
gonna be
measure our
goals, too.
superintendent
Pardon
against
me?
those? Can we measure our superintendent against that? Is that how he's evaluated? Because we want him to be evaluated on those 3.
Well,
So you're
then-
saying those aren't goals? No, those
Right,
are
that's-
goals.
No, these are, but they're almost overarching. They stand above and beyond all goals. I mean, this is why you do this. It's for the continued academic excellence. You do this because that's kind of what you're made of. This you're doing because you have an investment. But if you're talking about specific goals, then we need to come up with some words. and-
Like yearly goals?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is
Yes.
things that can be
Evaluated on-
achieved by the end of the school
No,
year.
no. You can have things that go beyond a year. So some goal that you had last year, I don't know what those were, but you're in a new day and a new dawn with a new superintendent and a new
goals.
administrative team. So you may, in a normal situation or in a regular situation that you had before, you may have continued a goal. So you've got kind of a unique opportunity here. This is never gonna be finished. This is never gonna be finished. And from what you're telling me, this is never gonna be finished.
Hopefully.
But
So
there'll
there's
be
gonna some
milestones,
progress towards
right.
them. Am I?
I guess the confusion is if we don't name those 3 that you just pointed out as a goal, then how do we
All right.
measure up whether we're accomplishing, either as a board or as the administration, the superintendent? How are we gonna measure whether the
moving
job is
forward.
being done and we're moving
This you could measure. This you could measure.
But it wouldn't be part of
But why
our
wouldn't that be a goal
evaluation
then?
of the
It
superintendent.
can be.
Okay.
How do we make it part of the evaluation? Because we hear that we can only evaluate them based on progress on goals. So how do we make those
But you
things?
just said those are goals.
And I said,
No, they're not goals.
They're not.
They're something that we
they're not
do,
goals.
we
But she
strive
says we
for
can
every
still
year.
evaluate.
Guess what we're gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
Mr. Featherman,
Why wouldn't
talk
it
to
be
me.
a goal?
Because she's saying we can evaluate them.
If you're going to evaluate somebody on this, there has to be an explanation, or it has to be an aspect of it. This, he could give you a number of things that he does, right? This, you're going to see things happen to your buildings. But I would, and that would be fine if you would like to evaluate him on this, but there needs some criteria in here. I mean, is it?
Right, he's gotta reach certain
They're gonna say-
milestones,
Right.
basically, right? Something we want him to be able to do.
Superintendent will raise test scores by 25%.
Oh,
Oh, you'd sign off on that, right? Absolutely.
Tier it, we'll tier it.
so, Mr. Featherman, this is your first year through this. You need to say something.
Well, it's a bit overwhelming. I mean, I think we're talking about a measurable goal.
Yes.
I think we need to pare this down to something that, well, if we
Yes.
just, let's not reinvent the wheel. If we reflect on last year's goals for a moment, not that we're looking back, but let's just, for a moment, the district scores and curriculum assessment, under that category, goal number 1, we're talking specifically about test data, New Jersey Ask score, AP scores,
Yes,
HESPA.
yes.
You can throw MAP scores in there. I think we need to pare down that category into specific data that perhaps we can establish some kind of goal.
And
I
I
don't know
think
about
that's what had the
25%,
action.
I'll
the
tier it
action
for you
plan-
at the lower
no,
25%.
The action plan had that, and then the professional development team came up with their own goal, that they said that they would improve some test score by so many points. The group of teachers that did it last year.
The high
came-
school was 2.5%.
Thank you. So there were numbers
Oh, okay.
applied
All
to
right, okay.
improvements, but that was at the action plan level, not at the goal level.
Okay, and I don't have last year's
Right,
goals.
right. So I
Those are
think,
the school-based
I don't
goals
think
that
it's
we're
in the
referring to.
goal, I think it's in the action plan. What does the superintendent think he can do? Like, what do you think the district is capable of?
In terms of a number,
Yes, and based on what was
Right,
accomplished
because your
last
action
year.
plan is based on district goals,
Right,
right, so that's
right.
part of the action.
I don't think you should come up with a number just sitting here discussing it.
No, and I don't want to, that's part of the action plan.
No, that's the action plan.
So, you could have this
Apparently
and
not.
this as a goal. But what we're talking about, if you will, is refining this for the next year or so. Am I right?
When you talk about refining, it's not refining, it's just now going to, defining
Defining.
a next level of that.
Okay.
Right, and can that
What
include
what is
like
the superintendent
curriculum, or
going
what
to
we wanna-
do
Right.
to move us forward in our academic achievements? What is his goal this year to do that? So again, that's where it comes from the superintendent in their action plan of this is what we want to do. You see where the
That's
board
right.
wants to go. Now, what is your input of what are you going to do to bring us to that level?
All right.
Whether it be in implementing a new
Okay.
a new curriculum, something, that kind of thing.
All right.
But when you look, last year, they were very specific in their goal, where I think. what
Right, we
Mr.
didn't do
Featherman-
that though.
No, I think what he was saying was they listed, we listed specific tests that can be measured. Ask scores, AP, HESPA. It's not so general.
well,
It's a pretty,
I'd rather like what.
Or were you rather go
Okay.
general, and then your
Yes.
action plan
Yes.
be.
Right,
what you
right.
think.
I want to make sure that we're all aware that this school year, and this is an exceptional year when it comes to the landscape of public education. Let's be
Yes.
very clear.
Yes.
We are not dealing
Thank
with,
you.
this is an atypical year. With Achieve NJ and the mandates that we are up against, literally, immediate attention. We have to, yes, we discussed this before. Clearly, district scores and curriculum assessment has to be in there. But the rest of it has to be what you see there. I mean, we're talking about teachers writing student growth objectives. We're talking about MAP testing, QSAC. These things are consuming our lives in our schools. Please keep that in the context of what we're talking about. Our teachers, our staff, administration, custodians, this is what we're doing. So if you're gonna measure me on how we do up against those initiatives.
Yeah.
Right,
That's what we're doing.
last year's goal says nothing
That's a good
about
point.
improvement, specific data. It says, "The board shall review all district test scores and revise the district curriculum in order to continue to enforce student strengths and correct student weaknesses. The data reviewed by the board," so that means you have to present it to us, but not limited to NJS scores, AP placement data, HESPA scores, and student progress and grades where a standardized test is not administered. So there's nothing that was assigned there. It was in the action plan that was developed by the
I agree.
superintendent.
I agree.
So, and I think we should keep that the same, but the focus, the community, the parents, quite frankly, it doesn't matter to them. This matters
Right.
to them. Student achievement matters to them. And so we just have to keep it balanced, that's all. I'm not saying one's more important than the other, and I understand your reality, but the reality remains from the community side that student achievement is what they want to see.
But ultimately, the whole, right.
And the whole thing's
that is
supposed to
what-
support it.
Right, but everything that we're doing with Achieve NJ goes to
Absolutely.
address that.
But that could be
Yes.
part of the action plan,
Yes,
is what, as
exactly.
Pam is
Right.
saying.
Yes.
Right.
And
all of that is,
you're
that's
preparing
part, that's
for
a
it.
student growth
Right,
objective.
yeah.
Where do you want your students to grow?
Yep.
That's the point
Yep.
of all of that.
So,
So that
Under-
falls under, Pam, that's what we
Yeah,
were
so-
talking about before.
so
That
this,
all is grouped
and
together.
this, and this. So
Academic
3, 4, and 5 can
Including
go
what the
under
staff is doing?
continued student achievement. That's what you're saying.
What?
No, I think the
But
result,
right, but your academic
3,
achievement
4,
is-
and 5, Mr. Featherman can use as ways to measure this for this coming year.
Right, so they can.
That's
be
what I
sensitive
was
to
just
that.
gonna say.
Absolutely, yes,
I think so
yes.
too.
Because that's what your
I
student
just
growth
didn't want
objective
those-
is.
So I
is
think that
where
could
are
be
you
the-
now, and
right.
Right.
where are you taking
Yeah,
that
yeah.
individual student or that class or that group of students? that
As
you
long as that's
identify?
the
So 3,
overarching,
4, and
not
5
some-
really
Right.
falls under the red.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
You're going to do this anyway.
Do you agree?
You're in the middle of this.
That's the way you
Is that,
Do you feel comfortable with that?
it has to be fair and it has to be doable.
Can number one be maintain staff? I mean, does it have to be higher middle school principal? What if somebody is
I
promoted
don't
or
think that's
moves
a-
out?
Do you think
Number
that's an
one?
objective, though?
Number one's a goal?
No.
No.
I don't think number one
Okay,
should be
all right.
anywhere.
Right.
No, number one's not a goal.
But it is a
Right.
goal right now, that's why.
But,
No,
right, I don't think,
That's
right,
not a goal. She asked for what is immediate attention.
right, it's not gonna be a goal.
Do we
Okay.
want to put it
But
as a
no,
goal
she
or
said
just
it would be a goal. I don't think it's a
But
goal.
we're all saying we don't want it to be a
No, I
goal.
didn't say it was a goal. I said, what needs
Right,
your
okay.
thinking and time and effort right now?
Right.
This does.
I think you pretty much summed it up right now. I think you got number one with the
Yes.
red has 3, 4, and 5 that fall under it. So that covers 3 of them. I think
Yes.
the next main goal is going to be facilities by itself.
And this.
I'm not saying in what particular order.
Okay.
I'm just saying facilities will be another main goal, and
Okay.
whatever the subcategories are underneath that
Okay.
for facilities, we could break that down if we needed to. And then number 7 would be, again,
Another
the
goal.
main goal, but then what is the superintendent going to do, or what is the board going to do underneath that, you
Right.
know, the subcategories? I think
Okay.
those are the 3 main topic goals.
But
I
CUSAC
think.
has to be,
Well,
Right.
yes.
That would be
Well,
under-
CUSAC's
that would
gonna be
under the
done
red.
by November.
Right.
I know,
Does
but
that
it's a
have to be
goal,
a
he
goal?
should be measured against.
It is,
the
he's,
Oh, that's
success
true.
of
That's
that.
true, that's
should
true.
be-
Yeah.
I think CUSAC goes up here too. It
Oh, it's
has
part
to
of
be
it.
done.
Okay.
It is part of your district. If you
Right.
don't want the state marching through your district,
Right. You have
this
to-
has to be done well.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Featherman, you use, we're gonna use 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is that
Right.
okay?
I have a strong back, absolutely.
Listen, I don't wanna come here next year and see you broken down and,
That'll take a few more.
Yeah, so that would be goal number 1,
Yes.
for
yes.
sure.
Yes, and so you can use all of these others, and I will get it back to you. I will get these written up and include a letter back to you that will have all these.
Great.
Am I right?
Correct.
Are you
Yes.
happy?
And then the
Yes.
next step is the superintendent sends us his action plans for those 3 goals, correct?
Yes, and you do not mess with them.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like, I'm going to use my talents and skills and my staff, and I am going to accomplish these goals
This
in these ways.
Great.
And you're going to ask him before you start this evaluation, because I can tell you right now, after talking to him and watching him, he's going to have a long list, other than the goals, of his accomplishments. Because when it comes time to evaluate him, as human beings, unless it's striking, we really only can remember about 2 months ago. So when you go to him before you evaluate him and you say, we're going to begin the evaluation process, you should always formally write somebody, then say, is there any additional information you would like us to have? I think it's a gracious thing to do. I think it's a human thing to do. Progress in your district is based on those relationships. And then it will be his decision as to whether or not to give you extra information. But that kind of gesture, which is more than a gesture, kind of fleshes out some other things that you might not otherwise know. Because your board meetings are chock full of people like me. Right? Are we done?
I think
Are
we're
you
done.
happy?
Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Featherman, are you happy?
Yeah,
I'd like to see the finished product first. I think we're on the right track, yes.
smart man.
I think you'll be fine.
Do you, any of you have questions for me? Are you going to workshop? You know, if you're doing facility upgrades, you're probably dealing with green, right, and sustainability? Just say yes.
Yes, we are.
Definitely dealing with green.
Well, we did in our last bond referendum, the way we did our roofing and stuff, we're prepared for all of that. We
Okay,
definitely actually planned ahead for sure.
all right. Okay. Now, will this whole thing come apart or can I, oh. Ah. All right. Wasn't that easy?
Yes,
Fun?
Absolutely.
that was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you have a wonderful year.
Thank you.
You will be getting a notice shortly with Charlene's name. She's an experienced, accomplished person. If you need assistance of any kind, feel free to call. Renee will. Right?
That's right.
Good night, you all.
Good night, careful
Thank you.
driving.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna leave these here. It was a pleasure to see you all again. I was nice to meet you. Thank you. You're welcome. Really? There. One of the best meetings you've ever attended. Shake off, people.
He keeps us in line.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Take care, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Okay, moving on the agenda. May I have under the Office of the Business Administrator and Board Secretary have a motion under minutes for B1 and B2, and that's a motion to approve the public and executive minutes of September 10th, and also to approve that it certifies that no account line has been overexpended for the month of September.
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sakala?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
And Mr. Mandela?
Aye. Under bills, may I have a motion for B3? And that is a motion to pay the bills that are listed for September.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sakala?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
And Mr. Mandela?
Aye. Under business, may I have a motion for B4 through B8? And that's a motion to accept the donation of $500 from the Junior Women's Club of Cedar Grove to enhance Memorial Middle School's drama production of Annie. Motion to approve the establishment of petty cash fund for the superintendent's office. A motion to approve Oradell Construction's payment for application number 1 in the amount listed, and that is for Cedar Grove High School improvement on louver grills. B7 is a motion to approve that the interest earned on the investment of expended cash balances in the capital projects funds for the 2011 bond referendum project be transferred to the Cedar Grove Board of Education General Fund. And B8 is a motion to approve Phil Puglisi, Inc. to remove railing, speakers, posts, and roofing at the Cedar Grove High School field house.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sakala?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
And Mr. Mandela?
Aye. Mr. Featherman, your superintendent's report?
Yes, thank you. There are copies on the side if you have not received one, Mr. Maloney.
Before you begin, are we going to have a liaison this year? student liaison?
We do.
Okay.
Rebecca Altshaw will be joining us on October 8th.
Oh, great. Good
She's
deal.
looking forward to it.
Great.
So just some highlights from the high school. Congratulations to Joey Slattery for his selection as CGHS Student of the Month for September on behalf of the Physical Education Department. Attaboy, Joey. On Monday, September 16th, students in grades 9 through 11 began MAP testing, measures of academic progress. This adaptive assessment measures both reading and mathematics aptitude and is taken on the computer. The purpose of this assessment is to provide teachers with baseline data of all students at the beginning of the year, thus allowing measurement of academic progress at the end of the year. It should be noted now that both, not only the high school, the middle school, as well as North End and South End, are completing MAP testing as well. More news at CGHS. They've paired with Memorial Middle School to share an assembly for the observance of Week of Respect, October 7th through the 11th. This assembly will take place on Tuesday, October 8th, in the morning at both schools. Funds for this assembly were provided from the Cedar Grove Municipal Alliance. We can't thank them enough for their continued support. They've been great. On Thursday, October 3rd, at Cedar Grove High School's Back to School Night, hope to see you there. Begins 7 p.m. in the auditorium. On Wednesday, October 9th, a special occasion, 7 p.m., the Cedar Grove girls volleyball team will host their annual Dig Pink cancer fundraiser. Please come out and support our girls volleyball team as they take on Verona. That's October 9th, 7 p.m. At Memorial Middle School, they continue to experience great success regarding academic programs and after-school activities. Homework Alliance was a wonderful addition last year, and we are excited to continue this program. The primary focus, of course, of Homework Alliance is to provide students with a quiet environment conducive to completing their homework. We will also continue this year with successful extracurricular activities for students in the area of drama. Our play this year is Annie, as well as sports intramurals. Auditions took place for Annie on Monday the 9th, with at least 30 students interested, including our stage crew. It's also worth noting that the Memorial Middle School FSA donated 4 smart boards this past summer, all of which were installed, and a new laptop cart containing 32 new laptops. It's a tremendous addition to our school. Can't thank you enough. Highlights at South End. On September 26th at 10 a.m., all South End students will participate in JAM World Record 2013 for a quick and easy, bless you, fitness break to promote the important message about being active every day. JAM is the first of its kind physical activity campaign that was created to invite all of America to pause and take just a minute, thus JAM, JAM. This initiative is led by our kids. Many teachers at South End have started using Remind 101, a safe way for teachers to text message reminders to their parents using a phone number assigned to them. And from the guidance office, this year at South End, we've begun incorporating aspects of positive behavior support, both there at North End as well, in the cafeteria and the hallways. The goal is to have consistent expectations for all students about what is appropriate for these locations and to increase positive student behavior. It will be known as ROAR behavior, the ROAR standing for respect, outstanding, accountable, and responsible. At North End, we heard this earlier in the report, but both North End and South End, they reviewed the bucket filling, bucket dipping concept with all students. Ms. Dyer and Mr. Matteo both read the story. Have you filled a bucket today? Bottom line is, be a bucket filler and not a bucket dipper. Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Thank you, Mr. Featherman.
Thank you.
Moving on, under the Office of the Superintendent, under Personnel, may I have a motion for S1 through S17? And that's a motion to approve the superintendent's report, a motion to approve site managers, a motion to rescind lunch duty for Susan Sweeney at North End, motion to rescind Literary advisor for Bart Pearson. Motion to approve the articulation agreement between Fairleigh Dickinson and Cedar Grove High School. A motion to reimburse the school-based volunteers as listed for fingerprinting. I thought I said finger painting. Motion to approve the school volunteers as listed as volunteers. S8 is a motion to approve the coach volunteers as listed for the different sports. S9 is a motion to approve grant writing by Jamie Koransky. S10 is a motion to approve Marie Lasher to receive an extra teaching period stipend. S11 is a motion to approve the substitute nurse rate at the per diem as listed. S12 is a motion to approve the appointment of Adele Bryant as North End School lunch aide. S13 is a motion to approve the appointment of Rose Ramundo as South End School lunch aide. S14 is a motion to approve William Scanlon as head girls basketball coach for Cedar Grove High School. S15 is a motion to approve Nancy Saluce. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. North End paraprofessional. S16 is a motion to authorize the attendance at the events as listed. S17 is a motion to approve student classroom observations as listed. And that is it. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sakala?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
And Mr. Mandela?
Aye. Under contracts, may I have a motion for S18 and S19? And that's a motion to retroactively approve the subscription busing contract for student number as listed. And S19 is a motion to approve the contracts as listed for special services.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sakala?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
And Mr. Mandela?
Aye. The meeting is open to the public for comments on or off the agenda.
Joe Morris, 7 Beverly Road. I gotta say that tonight's meeting had great, a great background. It gave the skeleton of what the board has to do. And in doing that, and got the really and by the questioning and that kind of thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Okay, we'll bring it to you.
Again, the meeting, I think, was a super meeting, and I've attended all kinds of meetings in our district, other districts, and in Trent when I was on the state board. But I never had any board that really came up with what I refer to as a skeleton of what has to be done, and with the help of the lady there, probably come up with something that you will then do some modifying yourself to make it fit in more directly with the work that has to be done here. But I thought it was excellent, and I'm surprised. I'm sad that a lot of people don't know what a board has to do to really come up with something that the education of our children will be positive. And I think what the board is doing is one of the best things I've seen.
Thank you, Mr. Maroney.
Dispatch.
Thank you. Okay, future meeting announcements. Here, October 8th and October 22nd, both at the North End Media Center. 7 p.m. will be our executive session. 8 p.m. will be our regular meeting. I guess I need a motion for, to adjourn to executive session. I guess we, do we
So
hit some of these?
We'll be discussing the professional services contract,
Okay,
okay? And then personnel, matters of personnel.
which one is that one?
You want to follow up to the building principal? Yeah, I don't have it on here. because
Oh, okay,
it's-
right. So I add that?
Mhm.
Okay, so follow up on personnel. Okay, so we're going to adjourn into executive session to discuss legal matter relative to professional services contract. Action is not expected to follow the discussion in executive session. Public release of the discussion will occur upon completion of any contracts. And then we will also discuss personnel. The board had interviews earlier today for middle school principal, so we did not have a chance to discuss that. So we will be discussing personnel for the middle school principal, and I guess release of that discussion will occur upon any decisions. Any completion, if contracts are given. We don't know if there is any completion of contracts. And so may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sakala?
Yes.
Mrs. Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Marinelli?
Aye.
And Mr. Mandela?
Aye. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming.